So you're Steven's dad?
Yes, I am
Nice to
Stephen's dad.
meet you. What's his birthday again?
It was September 14th, 2020.
Okay. And what are his language abilities?
So he's nonverbal, so he can, he doesn't really say any words or anything. He can make some sounds. He might, like squeal when he's happy, yell when he's mad, or like kind of grunt if he's running around doing stuff, but it's mostly just noise and not language.
Okay. Um, does he go to school, homeschool? Does somebody keep him during the day?
So right now he's at daycare.
Oh, okay. Um, what are his like? What does he like to play with or do in his when he's playing?
So if he's outside, he loves just running around. He's just kind of
Mhm.
pretty active. And he enjoys loves swing sets, getting pushed on the swing. If it's less active, sometimes he really loves playing with bubbles, likes like kind of just looking at everything, popping it and chasing it around. And he loves like kind of tactile stuff like Play-Doh, anything he can like squish and form into shapes and just play.
Okay. Um, is there anything else that he likes or would be a good reinforcer?
Uh, he does like if he's in a good mood, he loves or he'll appreciate some like cuddles and affection if he's like kind of chill on down. He always like loves snacks. Loves his fruit snacks. And you'll probably watch some little kids videos or tablet. Little kid shows. Bluey, Peppa the Pig.
Hmm. Does he take any medicine right now?
He does this and not.
Yeah, let's see. What are some of his problem behaviors?
So he's can he will like hit his head against the wall and just like hit his head sometimes when he gets mad. And he also can get aggressive. Like he'll hit like other people or bang his head on other people. And he's had a few biting incidents.
Hmm. Has that happened at daycare?
Uh, yes, it has.
What bothers you the most? What are you most concerned about?
But the big one is, the hitting his head against stuff in the wall when he gets upset.
Yeah, yeah, that would be scary. What are the top three most concerning behaviors?
So I'd say just the head banging and the aggression, and then it's kind of the tantruming, which usually kind of leads up into the other behavior.
Mhm. How would you describe his behaviors at high intensity?
Say that the highest was he's back to hole in the drywall before daycare, and sometimes if he gets worked up, if he hits someone, he can leave a bruise.
Mhm. What about like moderate?
Moderate, he kind of hits his head on the wall, leave a red mark on his skin or someone else's.
And low?
Say low would be just when he's kind of getting aggressive and kind of yelling and running around some when he's kind of at that first level, kind of throwing a tantrum and acting a little aggressive before he
Mhm.
starts.
What about like do the behaviors occur like in clusters or bursts, or like is there anything in particular that happens before?
Yeah, so it's usually a cluster of like an event when he gets kind of worked up about something. He'll usually starts off with kind of like starting the tantrum and well, like he'll start yelling and being a little aggressive. And if it kind of spirals, he'll start hitting his head and stuff.
Um, are there any like situations where it's most likely to occur?
Yeah, I think the big one is when he wants something and he doesn't get it, or if like it's time to stop playing and we got to take the toy away, or we're about to go somewhere, so he can't play right now,
Mm.
so he doesn't get the food he wants or the toys he gets. So it's kind of challenging at daycare.
Um, let's see. What about does he have problem behaviors reliably during any like activities?
Yeah, I'd say if just kind of during playtime, if at a daycare, I know, or really with just other kids, he's the big thing is if he's someone tries to share.
So are there any like particular activities that the behaviors usually occur in?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's playtime at daycare is when if it's especially if it's a group activity, he has to share with the other kids. Sometimes he has trouble with sharing. And other times it's just like if another kid tries and take his toy, he gets really aggressive about it. And sometimes he really wants another toy and
Yeah.
doesn't really communicate that well with the other kids. And if the other kid says no, then he makes a very bad, he will start to tantrum.
So what would you say is a trigger or some triggers for the behavior?
Say when he doesn't get what he wants, or sometimes if he's trying to get something and it's just not being listened to or response or responded to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
What so like if you're trying to get him to do something else and break routine, is that when the behavior occurs?
Yeah, he can be if it sometimes when if if playtime gets cut a little shorter than normal, he'll get a little aggressive, and if sometimes not always just when he sometimes it's just like when we're ending playtime or putting stuff up, you'll start getting aggressive and yelling.
What about so it would be when he doesn't get his way,
Yeah, pretty much.
like anytime he wants something or a certain activity.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, how do you and other people respond to the behavior?
So I know a lot of times we try to block him if he's trying to get something and he doesn't need, like if we had dinner and we had let him have a little dessert or a treat, and then he just keeps going back for more. We just don't let him have more
Mhm.
if he's already had some. And then so a lot of times we try to like get block, so prevent him from accessing it if he really doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And other times we don't we try to I mean we try to like bargain a bit of like, okay, if you're not no we're not gonna have any more ice cream, but how about we go play on the swing, or how about okay, here's one of your favorite toys. And sometimes we're like, all right, you can have one more taste of ice cream, that's and just try to get them to go.
Yep. Um, so how do you get him to calm down? Like once he's
So like
already engaging?
okay, when he's engaging, it's a lot of times, especially when he's kind of being aggressive and hitting and all, and especially the head banging, we try to give him something that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times he gets to that point because he can't have what he wants, so
Mm-hmm.
we can't give it to him, but we can try and give something else to him that'll kind of redirect away from his anger.
Right. That's good. What about like is there's something you try to do to distract him. You said the other activities, right?
Yeah, try to do other activities and just try to be reassuring.
Why do you, or do you think that he's trying to communicate when he's acting out? And if
Yeah,
so, what
mostly
would that
it's,
be?
a lot of times he's just trying to get what he wants, and
Mhm.
sometimes it takes a bit before you can figure out what exactly he wants. And I think that's part of the, how he gets so frustrated.
Do you think the behavior is like a part of self-stimulation, like it's automatic, or like he's trying to get sensory input or output?
I don't really think it's that. I think it's usually in response to something. And it's always worse at daycare. So it's because, at daycare, there's other kids around and he's got to
Yeah.
worry about, you know, interacting with the kids and, you know, the teachers are, it's a lot more of, all right, it's time to do this, time to do that. And so he doesn't, it's a lot more structured than when he's at home.
Right. In your own words, why do you think he engages in the behavior?
I'd say he's doesn't really know how to ask for things or
Yeah.
kind of communicate what he wants or get to the point where he knows that, okay, I can't have what I want, but I can ask. And even if I don't get it immediately, I can get something that would, you know, fulfill my needs.
Okay. Has he ever had ABA before?
No, yes, no.
Um, yeah. Well, I think that's about it for now. I'm sure we'll be able to help him and especially work on those behaviors, and teach him different ways to communicate.